guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lauren. I do random content on my channel whenever I can. So I had you all vote on my community tab on which iceberg you all want to see first in my summer lineup. And as we can tell by this video, the Monster High iceberg ended up taking the cake and winning the voting list. Please note that I will still be doing the Ever After High and Tokyo Revengers iceberg, as well as other icebergs that have piqued my interest. Because Tokyo Revengers got the second highest votes, that will be the second iceberg, and I plan to have that one out at the end of June. And Ever After High is planned for the beginning of July. I don't know if this requires a spoiler warning, as Monster High was never really a show that I think ever needed a spoiler warning, but I'll still put it here just because. Anyway, so credit to Delpho X Queen 2 on Reddit who posted this iceberg image in the r/Monster High iceberg subreddit. And without further ado, sit back, relax, get a drink, get a snack, and let's get started with the video.
Don't you wanna be a monster too?
Oh, freaky just got fabulous. Everybody wants a piece of you. Let's dance, let's smile, let's be realistic. Most characteristic, most hip and
New Ghoul at School and Fright on. Monster High New Ghoul at School is the first TV special produced for the Monster High cartoon series and the first and only TV special on the YouTube channel. It was released on October 31st, 2010. 1 year later, Monster High Fright On was released. According to the Monster High Wiki, Monster High Fright On is a 2011 2D animated fantasy comedy children's television film special that aired on Nickelodeon in the US on October 30th, 2011. DS/Wii game. Several Monster High games were produced for the Wii and the DS back in the early 2010s. Such games include Monster High Skullmate Roller Maze, Monster High New Ghoul in School, Monster High 13 Wishes, and Monster High Ghoul Spirit. One in particular, Monster High Ghoul Spirit, was one that my sister had for her DS, and we would share the game and everything, right? We still have the game, and if I can find it, I'll show a little bit of gameplay footage on my DS, just for this video. Guys, so this is the game I'm talking about. This is the Monster High Ghoul Spirit game. I still have it. Here's my old DS, so I'm gonna put it in, see hopefully if it's charged, and I'll play whatever was left off of it. Okay. Oh, look at that character. I don't remember if I even had one. Oh my god. Something tells me these were all my sisters. We'll just do this one. Oh my god, ew. Oh, I forgot you can move it. I thought you could only move with the mouse. So yeah, basically this is what it was. Lacey Harrison book series. I remember this series so well because my sister and I both wanted to get the series and read it since we were avid readers growing up, but we could not find it for the life of us growing up. So we read the Girlfriends Monster High series, which I'll get into when that topic comes up. Anyways, the Lacey Harrison Monster High series has a total of 4 books: Monster High The Ghoul Next Door, Monster High 3 Where There's a Wolf There's a Way, and Monster High 4 Back and Deader Than Ever. These books were published from 2010 to 2012. CGI movies. I think Monster High was mainly well known for the CGI movies rather than the cartoon, as the quality of the cartoon and the movies was something you really could not compare. Monster High had a total of 15 movies over the span of 2010 to 2017. Those 15 movies were New Ghoul at School, Fright On, Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love, Escape from Skull Shores, Ghouls Rule, Friday Night Frights, Scarus City of Frights, 13 Wishes, Frights Camera Action, Freaky Fusion, Haunted, Boo York, Great Scarier Reef, Welcome to Monster High, and Electrified. Once 2016 hit though for Monster High, I never noticed how they changed the character designs, as I only stopped up until Boo York because I would watch it with my sister. But yeah, 2016 Monster High was around the time of the new remodeling of the characters, I guess you can say. So yeah, I never saw the new remodeling of the characters in a movie, and I'm only looking at a screenshot from IMD, which is like that movie website. It looks terrible. I'm sorry, but how do you downgrade so badly? Website/minigames. According to the Monster High Wiki, the Monster High website went live on May 5th, 2010. It contains biographies of all the characters along with games, downloads, videos, and quizzes. For a short while, there was a coming soon message announcing the website's future content. Specific mentions were made to 3 of the video games to be released, such as create your own class photo and student ID card, registration, and decorate your Monster High locker. On October 23rd, 2013, the website received a radical update that rebalanced the available passive and engaging content and changed systems that were no longer functioning. Starting October 23rd, the various websites were redone to contain the same content at the same time. Much older content on the US American website was removed during this change, mostly because it was not relevant anymore. In 2014, the website's design was changed for a new look that aimed for less content at once, and more space for the content and less background noise. It was less playful and busy than the previous website had once held. In present-day 2022, Monster High's website link redirects you to Mattel's official page. Reasons as to why still remain unclear. Ghoul Friends book series. The Ghoul Friends book series, according to the Monster High Wiki, was written by Giddy Danishavari. I'm sorry if I butchered her name. It is the second of the 2 book series attached to Monster High. It was first heard of on April 17th, 2012 through Amazon. The book series amassed 4 books from the span of 2012 to 2014. The books were titled Ghoul Friends Forever, Ghoul Friends Just Wanna Have Fun, Ghoul Friends Who Is That Ghoul Friend, and Ghoul Friends Till the End. The book series mainly followed Venus, Rebecca, and Rochelle. Gen 1.5 redesign. Also known as the 2016 Monster High reboot, this reboot completely changed the designs of the Monster High characters, giving them a more childlike design compared to their dark 2010 counterpart. According to the Monster High Wiki, Mattel decided to make the decision to reboot the franchise in order to target the younger demographic of kids rather than the previous tweens demographic that the franchise was first intended to target. The line saw safer fashion choices with more bright colors rather than the edgy aesthetic Monster High was known for. A drop in quality with cheaper material and less details being used for the outfits. More reused accessories, and also more lines decided to cut the standard articulation of 11 movable joints to the basic 5 joints. Discontinued due to controversy. Although there are probably several reasons as to why Monster High was discontinued, the most notable reason had to be due to parent complaints. I swear, this always seems to be the case in so much stuff, and I remember seeing a lot of this growing up. According to commonsensemedia.org, parent reviews for Monster High were such as the following. These are girls that are dressed inappropriately and they don't really teach good standards for tween girls, which is what they are targeted to. They wear clothes that wouldn't even be allowed in most high schools, and certainly not what a 7 to 12 girl should be wearing, which is the target audience. Now, what I didn't understand with this whole concept was that Monster High's main purpose for being why the girls looked like the way they were was to show the differences in everybody and how, differences can still be beautiful and all that stuff, right? I don't know. I felt like with most parents, that was completely swept under the rug because, like I said, Monster High was supposed to show the differences in everybody and how you could still be beautiful despite any imperfection you can have. Well, anyways, Monster High was allowed in my house. My mom didn't have a problem with it, as my sister, she was around 8 at the time when she started collecting Monster High. She was the one who mainly collected Monster High. I collected Ever After High, but it was never a problem, at least in my household, with Monster High or anything like it. Inspired by goth fashion. I think it is blatantly obvious that Monster High took a lot of inspiration from goth fashion, as, you know, first off, Monster High was released every year during Halloween, and second of all, it's obvious in the hair, to the makeup, to the shoes, to the clothes, that Monster High, to the T, had inspiration from goth fashion, to the point where Monster High made its aesthetic that many people grew up with and love to this day, you know? It's very pretty. Hybrids. According to the Monster High wiki, hybrids are a type of monster in Monster High. A hybrid monster is usually the child of two different kinds of monsters. For example, Ava Trotter, whose mother is a harpy and whose father is a centaur, causing Ava to be a hybrid of those two kinds of monsters. Hybrid monsters first appeared in Freaky Fusion. My sister had one of these dolls. It was the pink one with the wings. I think her name was Bonita Freemer. I'm not sure, but yeah, she had her from the Freaky Fusion thing, and that's probably the only doll she got from that set. I don't think we have it, but if we do, I'll find it and just have it in this video for just a little while, like I did with the Aisha doll. Skull Collector dolls. According to the Monster High wiki, the Skull Collector doll assortment was released late October 2020 into mid-August 2021. The models include Pennywise, the Shining Grady twins, Beetlejuice and Lydia Dees, and Dracula. The dolls are literally going for about $300 on eBay. Something tells me the resellers got to them. But yeah, these dolls are hella expensive. Draculaura is a vegan. According to the Monster High wiki, Draculaura is a vegan in both the Monster High books and the cartoon series. She is a vegetarian vampire, meaning she doesn't drink blood nor eat meat. The Kind Campaign.
Raise your hands if you've ever been negatively affected by something that another girl has said or done to you.
The mission of the Kind Campaign is to create an awareness and to start a dialogue about the very serious effects of girl against girl crime. Kind Campaign and Monster High have partnered to spread the message that it's cool to be kind.
According to the Monster High wiki, the Kind Campaign is a USA project to end girl-on-girl cruelty that was founded by Molly Thompson and Lauren Parkinson, themselves victims of female bullying. On May 17th, 2011, Monster High posted a video about their partnership with the Kind Campaign. This is the video I am showing you. Over the next months, the social media accounts of Monster High began incorporating links to Kind Campaign websites and accounts until September 28th, 2011. The Kind Campaign itself commented on a partnership and revealed that a webisode featuring the Monster-fied versions of the founders will soon air. This would be Kind, the Shockumentary, which aired on October 3rd, 2011. 2022 Reboot. According to the Monster High wiki, in February 2021, Mattel announced that Mattel Television will be producing a new Monster High animated series. It is set for release in October 2022, and it will air on Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus, alongside with the new Monster High 2022 film in the United States. According to press release, the new series follows fan-favorite characters Claudine Wolfe, Draculaura, and Frankenstein as they navigate the hilarity of high school in the hallowed halls of Monster High. Ever After High crossover.
All the lands, all the high schools that we thought were just stories, they're real!
So it is true.
What was at one point the most hyped up toy crossover in the 2010s was the Monster High crossover with Ever After High. We were only given 2 teasers of the crossover, one being a Monster High clip, which I just showed you guys right now, and the other being a book crossover with Monster High and Ever After High. However, due to the cancellation of Ever After High, the Monster High and Ever After High crossover was cancelled. According to the Monster High wiki, The Lost Movie was a movie meant for late 2016, and therefore was to be the 14th TV special. Its working title and possible intended name is Fairy Tale. It was left unfinished at about 3/4 of the rough draft due to the cancellation of Ever After High and the reboot of Monster High. but the Monster High YouTube channel uploaded voice storyboard sequences from May 6th to July 29th of 2016. It was meant to be the first ever After High production to be produced in CGI animation, just like the Monster High TV specials do. IRL counterparts. I think this has to do with the celebrity counterparts, you know, when people would put celebrities as a certain character, because obviously when looking through this website, it's giving me vibes of early 2010 stuff. For example, they have Demi Lovato as Draculaura, Katy Perry as Gulia, Kesha as Laguna, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think that's what this has to do with, but I've seen it change so much ever since then. For example, they have Melanie Martinez as Draculaura now. But yeah, it obviously will change over time. We Stop Hate. We Stop Hate and Monster High partnered together to make Ghouls Against Hate. We Stop Hate is a non-profit dedicated to ending bullying by raising teens' self-esteem. In their partnership, Monster High made an episode surrounding this topic. Gaga for Ghouls. Gaga for Ghouls is a song in Monster High by the character Zombie Gaga. This character is based off of Lady Gaga. According to the Monster High wiki, Zombie Gaga is a 2016 introduced character and is a fiction-only character. She is based off Lady Gaga and her revolution of monster pride, especially since she calls her fans little monsters. She is a collaboration created with the Born This Way Foundation. She is the Monster High identity of Lady Gaga. Gulia is autistic. It has been speculated by many fans for many years, and it has finally been confirmed that Gulia is autistic. I am not sure what type of autism Gulia has, but it has been speculated by fans that she has Asperger's syndrome, which can explain her high intellect. According to many in the autistic community, Gulia is a great representation for their community. However, in the 2016 reboot of Monster High, she was slowly casted out of the main cast, which even upset the creator of Monster High, Garrett Sanders, who stated that Gulia is a part of the original Ghouls and was designed at the same time as the other Ghouls were. Hopefully for the 2022 reboot, Gulia will be put back with the main cast. Comics. According to the Monster High wiki, the Monster High comic series is a platform of fiction added to Monster High in 2014. There are 3 comics in total, and they ranged from 2014 to 2015. Hopes and Screams, I Only Have Eye for You, and Who Are the Frightmares. Custom dolls. According to the Monster High wiki, there exists a handful of Monster High dolls that are custom made for their owners by Mattel in celebration of an event. These dolls are one of a kind, but generally recycle the head mold and or accessories. With one exception, the dolls are official, but the characters they represent are not. Deuce's dad. It is mainly known by fans that Medusa Gorgon is Deuce's mom. However, it is unknown who Deuce's dad is. According to the Monster High wiki, Garrett Sander, the creator of Monster High, would post on his Instagram stories that Deuce's father was a normie, but they never got to reveal it. Rip-off dolls. I think with anything popular, there's obviously going to be a bootleg or ripped-off version of said popular item, so this is not really a surprise that Monster High has had some ripped-off dolls before. Draculaura's origin. According to the Monster High wiki, Draculaura is the adopted daughter of Dracula. She is the biological daughter of Camila and Gaius, human residents in Romania 1,600 years ago. It so happens that Gaius, a Roman soldier, is the great-great-grandson of Trajan, one of Dracula's servants and friend. However, after he impregnates Camila, he is killed in a battle, leaving the widow alone and with no means to support the soon-to-be-born child. In a move of compassion and honor of his old friend, Dracula gives aid to Camila and receives them in his castle. Soon, Draculaura is born, her name being given as an honor to the being who saved both hers and her mother's lives. The family decide to move to the Dacia province, also known as Romania, to offer Draculaura the environment she needs. Kind-hearted Draculaura grows to be a happy child, and so did Camila and Dracula's relationship, as the vampire promotes her to head of the house and soon falls in love with her. However, as Dracula leaves Dacia to attend an old business in Rome, a plague invades the province, killing many of the inhabitants, in which Camila is included. Dracula arrives home to find that the love of his life is dead, and that Draculaura is also sick. So to prevent her death, he adopts her and converts her into a vampire, giving the child immortality and immunity to the plague. Sylvie Timberwolf. According to the Monster High Wiki, Sylvie Timberwolf is a 2017 introduced and all-around character. She is a werewolf and a student at Monster High. She mainly makes an appearance in the reboot. However, her character design in the doll and her cartoon character design look completely different to each other. Cleo's backstory. According to the Monster High Wiki, Cleo was a princess of Egypt over 5,800 years ago and was raised with the knowledge that she would never be queen of her home, as that honor would befall her older sister Nephra. Cleo's own uncle sought to overthrow Ramses the Nile and found loyal followers among Ramses' own trusted advisors. The chief advisor led Ramses and his daughters to underground quarters and prepared to house them if they came under attack. The plan was for them to be wrapped up in magic cloth that would sustain them until the guards dealt with the danger. Despite that the queen had yet to join them, Ramses the Nile already had the family wrapped with a magic cloth that would keep them safe while their loyal followers would deal with the attack. They didn't know that they had no loyal followers left and that the magic cloth was meant to keep them asleep forever. Nonetheless, they woke up after 1,300 years, only to find the queen still missing and themselves trapped within the hiding spot. As Ramses began to spend his days looking for an exit, Cleo pessimistically enjoyed the luxuries of their prison. But Nephra was hit badly by both the loss of her mother and her future, and spent most of her time talking to her corpse flower that she had taken with her. An earthquake eventually damaged the prison enough to create a hole, allowing sunlight in. As the family rejoiced, the corpse flower awakened from her slumber and introduced herself as Amanita Nightshade. She explained what truly happened and revealed that the family had been asleep for 1,300 years, and elaborated that they would no longer fit the human world but must find their place in monster society. Luna and Bonita are half-sisters. Some fans of Monster High believe that Luna and Bonita are half-sisters due to them both being the daughters of the Mothman. However, according to a post on Reddit by Anxious Tuxedo Bird on the r/Monster High subreddit, they come up with the explanation that Bonita was originally the daughter of the Mothman before Luna, but they changed it to a quote-unquote moth. I honestly thought that she and Luna were half-sisters when Luna came out. So this possibly could have been a mistake on their part, but now it has become a headcanon. Deuce and Viperine are cousins. According to the Monster High Wiki, she is a Gorgon from Barcelona, Spain, and a makeup artist employed at Huntleywood. Specifically, she is the personal makeup artist of Elizabeth. Viperine is the daughter of Medusa's sister, which makes Deuce and Viperine cousins. Though they don't hang out often, the two try to keep in touch when they can, and are considered pretty cool mutually. Reused/recolored accessories. According to the Monster High Wiki, doll accessories are the small and often plastic items like shoes and jewelry that come with the dolls. Because each separate model requires a new mold to be made from which they are cast, and mold creation is a relatively expensive step in the creation process, it often happens that the same accessory, if with a different paint job, is shared between the dolls. Also, occasionally, the purpose of a particular design accessory, if it's a choker or bracelet, is switched between dolls. Most often, a deluxe doll is given all new accessories, and budget dolls released around the same time or later come with recasts. Cleo can't remove her bandages. According to the Monster High Wiki, mummies in Monster High are shown to have bandages all over their body or on only some parts of their bodies. Most mummies in Monster High have bodies that look fresh, but a mummy background character has been shown to have more rotting skin. Cleo and her sister Nephra have to wear bandages or some wrappings at all times, or else they will disappear into dust. Salem, Massachusetts. According to the Monster High Wiki, Salem, Massachusetts is where the monsters were supposed to relocate to in the Monster High book series. It is also where the Salem witch trials took place. New Salem is probably the reference to this. New Salem is a town in the USA where both humans and monsters live, if largely separated out of mutual preference. It is a fictional Monster High exclusive town in either the state of Oregon or an unknown state. Cleo and Claude used to date. According to the Monster High wiki, Claude once dated Cleo Denial, though she later dumped him and began dating Deuce Gorgon the next day. This resulted in a long-time rivalry between Cleo and Claudine, until Claude confessed to his sister that it had been a mutual breakup and that he and Cleo hadn't truly cared for one another. Little sibling dolls. According to the Monster High wiki, these were also known as the Monster Family or Monster Siblings. This line is designed to give more insight into the Monster High ghouls' home lives. The Monster Siblings subline consists of single-pack dolls representing a younger sibling of a main character from Monster High. All of the dolls in the Monster Sibling line are female. The Frightmares. According to the Monster High wiki, the Frightmares comprises of 12 characters, of whom are half centaur, half unique monster. They are small dolls with a centaur lower body that has 4 movable legs. Each has different traits that match the monster they are crossed with. Some have horse-like tails, some not, and some have wings. Their clothing is also mostly made of plastic than fabric. Normies is a slur. As most people know, normies is the word that the monsters use to define the humans. However, I don't think it's a slur, as it's never been used in a demeaning way towards humans from the monsters. You get me? So I don't know if it would be classified as one. This one was a bit confusing, as you know, you really can't find much on this. I think this is just theorized. But yeah, I think because with most slurs that we see in our world today, a lot of them come from demeaning past. They were used to bash and insult people. So I think if that was the case with this particular word in the Monster High universe, then who knows, it could be classified as one. Non-canon doll lines. This could possibly be in reference to the cancelled Monster High dolls that never came out. There is a video on YouTube by Claudina9 that talks about this if you guys want to go check it out. But like I said, this could be in reference to certain doll lines that were possibly cancelled, such as the Ghostly Tea Party line, Spectra's Gory Gazette, Party Ghoul's Venus Prototype, and just in general, dolls that winded up not making the cut. Laguna doesn't need a helmet. According to the Monster High wiki, this amphibian power is adapted from her father, where her mother is mostly fish. Due to this, she does not need a water helmet. She also has super speed, as shown in Welcome to Monster High. Laguna has the ability to move or at least skate, as shown in Friday Night Frights, at high speeds without the usage of a helmet. Who Dude Hate? I take it that this has to do with the amount of hate that this character has. I personally haven't seen any hate regarding this character, at least to what I've been searching up. The only thing I found was on Tumblr, and it was from an account that basically said, "I hate Who Dude so much, he's so effing annoying, I swear to God I'll kill him myself." I don't know either. I don't even remember this character well, so I don't even remember what the character was like. But he couldn't have been that bad, right? But yeah, I guess this has to do with how much hate this character potentially has. Rule 34. Probably something that everybody in every fandom knows is that the main rule of Rule 34 is that if it exists, there is probably something like that on there. For those of you guys who are lucky enough to not know what it is or to have not stumbled upon it, Rule 34 is a website where artists make NSFW or not safe for work content of any fictional or even real person, which it gets a little, weird, especially when the art could be portraying a minor character, which already is, disgusting. So anything basically can be drawn of the characters, and it's no wonder this is brought up, as Monster High probably has some art like that on the site. So yeah, that's basically what it is, and I won't elaborate any further on it because I don't want to get demonetized. Monster High anime. According to the Monster High Wiki, Monster High Scary Cool Girls is an addition to the franchise's collection of fiction, launched at the end of 2014 and a Japanese anime only available in the Japanese language. It was unofficially announced on October 1st and officially announced on October 16th with the release of a trailer. Deities are canon. According to the Monster High Wiki, deities exist in Monster High. A deity or god is a supernatural being considered divine or sacred. The ones confirmed to exist are deities from Greek mythology. For example, Posea Reef, who is the daughter of Poseidon, and Ca Cupid, who is the adopted daughter of Eros. LGBT headcanons. For many years, several fans have headcanoned the characters of Monster High to be a part of the LGBTQ+ community. Before I begin with this, I do want to say Happy Pride Month to all of my viewers who are a part of the LGBTQ+ community. I hope you have a great month. And yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. So be who you are for your pride. Several headcanons that many fans have made are such as Claudine being a lesbian, Draculaura, Frankie, and Deuce being bi, and Jackson being trans. Some of these have actually even been confirmed, which I'll get to in the next layer. It's all in Frankie's head. This could be a potential theory on the whole Monster High thing, as Frankie is the new ghoul in school, and that's how the whole series starts. So a possible theory could be that the whole events of the show and everything was dreamt up by Frankie. And this always seems to be the case with a lot of shows, like the Ash is in a coma, the Pokemon theory, that Ash is just dreaming it up when he is in reality in a coma. So that could be what this is referring to, that the whole series and the events of the show are a figment of Frankie's imagination and she made it all up. Confirmed LGBT characters. Currently, there are 2 characters in Monster High who have been confirmed to be a part of the LGBTQ+ community, and it is Claudine Wolf, who is lesbian, and Valentine, who is gay.
Be who you are for your pride.
Canon Purse. According to the creator of the Iceberg image, Delpho X Queen 2, on Reddit, they explained a lot of the Iceberg stuff to people who are confused. Canon Purse was an accessory that Galupe was going to have to reflect her circus theme, and I just thought it was the most interesting, unused accessory. Wraithy only exists to stop lesbian Claudine headcanons. For those of you guys who don't know who this character is, according to the Monster High Wiki, Wraithy is a 2016 introduced and fiction-only character. Given his name and appearance, he is most likely a Wraith. He attends Monster High, being one of its early students. Among the friends he has made, he is closest to Deuce Gordon and has developed a mutual crush on Claudine Wolf. Now, there is a possibility that Mattel added this character in the reboot in order to make it more friendly, I guess, for parents, quote-unquote, which, you know, they can't do anything about it now that the actual creator of Monster High has confirmed Claudine to be lesbian. So they really can't be doing anything about it now. You get me? Plus, I don't consider 2016 Monster High canon. Who does? Who considers it canon? I'd like to know. Just the designs sucked, you know? So I think it was just to kind of, you know, quote-unquote please the parents who were complaining about Monster High in general. But yeah, it's... whether it was to do that or not, it won't change the fact that Claudine has been confirmed to be lesbian. Zori Weatherbolt. According to the Monster High Wiki, Zori Weatherbolt is a custom doll created in 2015 as a gift to Victoria Cartwright in cooperation with Make-A-Wish America. The doll was designed by Cartwright herself with the help from the creative team behind Monster High. New characters disappear after their movie. This could be in reference as to how new characters in the Monster High CGI movies appear in the movies, and then once that's done, they become either background characters or they just disappear in general during the next movie or the cartoon. To what I recall, most of these characters are just shown as background characters or just make no appearance whatsoever. But but it's always speculated that the new characters end up going to Monster High. The Lost Movie. According to the Monster High Wiki, this Lost Movie was supposed to be released on May 13th, 2016. The Lost Movie was supposed to be the 14th TV special, and the intended title was Fairy Tale. This was regarding the Ever After High and Monster High crossover. Yuna. According to the Monster High Wiki, Yuna is a 2016 introduced and cartoon-only character. She is a Korean nine-tailed fox known as a kumiho. I'm sorry if I butchered that. She was Draculaura's first friend with whom she loved to get lost in a fairy tale make-believe. Unpresent parents. This probably has to do with the lack of parents in Monster High, but this usually happens in most shows as the main focus is on the characters, not the parents. We do see certain parents, like Cleo's father, make appearances from time to time, but that's it. Kiyumi's crush. Several fans from Monster High have headcaned that Kiyumi has a crush on Draculaura due to her tendency of following Draculaura around. Because of this, she has also been headcaned to be lesbian or bi. Doll elections. According to the Monster High Wiki, in 2011, Mattel introduced a type of contest that would prove to be rare: doll elections. The setup of a doll election is that there are 3 candidates of different character development backgrounds that fans can vote for to be released as a doll the next year. The 2 who don't win are not doomed to never be made into a doll, but rather won't be available until the year after the winner is released. As of yet, Monster High has only hosted 2 doll elections, one in 2011 during San Diego Comic-Con International and one in 2014 in September. Both doll elections have been met with controversy that accuses Mattel of having decided the winners beforehand and dissatisfaction that most of the participants end up as Comic-Con exclusive dolls and the rest as store exclusive dolls. Doll prototypes. The photo I am showing you guys right now is the original prototype for Draculaura, Frankie, and Claudine. It is also shown that Frankie and Draculaura's outfits look similar to the final draft. However, for Claudine's though, it looks completely different. Because this photo was posted in Reddit, there are a lot of mixed reviews on it, but to give my opinion, it looks realistic. Like, the dolls look very realistic compared to the dolls that we got as the final draft for Monster High. Don't get me wrong, I like the Monster High version as well, the final draft, but the prototype was not that bad if you really think about it. Well, at least in my opinion. Sally Spectre. I believe this is an OC, but I'm not sure. But anyways, according to the Monster High Wiki, Sally Boo Shriek was just an ordinary girl, but unlike many, believed in monsters. She loved hearing ghost stories, so at her 16th birthday party, she brought up the story of Bloody Mary. All of her cousins disagreed and they all got into an argument. Then one cousin dared Sally to look in the mirror at midnight and say, "I believe in the Bloody Mary" 3 times, as the superstition states. She does. But instead of seeing her, Mary pulled Sally through the mirror. They ended up in a cloud palace where a random witch doctor dude cursed her. Sally never told her cousins what happened. Over the next month, Sally found out she could leave her body as a ghost, but she kept falling out of her body at school outside of her control, to the point where classmates as well as teachers were frightened. So they decided to transfer her to Monster High. Ghoulia discovered the Denial family. I believe this is a fan theory, as there's not much that can be found on this theory, so possibly this is a fan theory deriving from the fact that Ghoulia and Cleo are very, very close with one another. When looking at Cleo's backstory, it says that her family found their way out of the tunnel that they were buried in, so possibly they could have ran into Ghoulia, and that's how Ghoulia discovered them. I don't personally know, and if you guys know a bit more about this theory, please link it down below, because I have heard from my friend that it was on TikTok, I think, but I haven't found it. Draculaura will have to watch her friends die. This is in regards to Draculaura's age. Draculaura is 1,600 years old, and she is also a vampire, meaning she's immortal. It was also stated in the reboot that Draculaura babysat Claudine, Claude, and Howleen when they were younger. Because of Draculaura's immortality, she would be watching some of her friends who are not immortal die For example, Claudine, Claude, Laguna, and Abby are most likely to die of old age because they are not immortal. But other characters like Spectra or Cleo are already dead, so they already have immortality. Recalled scooters. This recall involves electric battery-operated city scooters that are purple and black with Monster High graphics on the front panels, seat, and rear fenders. The scooters were manufactured between October 5th, 2012 and November 7th, 2012. These were recalled due to a fall hazard, a different Frankie every day. According to Delpho X Queen 2 on Reddit, they explain, it is more upon how she suddenly forgets prominent events in her past, and many times when she has to list her age, she always says 15 days old, which would be impossible unless they get a new Frankie every 15 days. Gory Gazette. According to the Monster High Wiki, the Gory Gazette, also known as the Monster High Gory Gazette, is a school newspaper of Monster High. It was introduced with the launch of the Monster High Tumblr account on January 13th, 2012. In fact, for its first year of existence, the Gory Gazette was the Tumblr account, serving as a fourth wall breaking part of Monster High fiction. Both Draculaura and Ghoulia Yelps are known to write for the Gory Gazette. Draculaura is a regular reporter and Ghoulia reports on Necrocron and Comic-Con for the newspaper. The editor of the Gory Gazette was revealed to be Spectra Vondergeist. Ghoulia knows how Spectra died. According to the Monster High Wiki, it is revealed in Spectra's diary. Spectra was searching for Ghoulia, but finds her looking through old newspapers. I don't know how she knew I was there, since I was hiding in the shadows, but she pulled out the chair next to her and looked straight at me and patted the seat for me to sit down. I was so startled that I just floated over and sat down. The headline of the paper in front of her read, "The Real Vondergeist." It was my family's story. I had forgotten. Oh my soul, I must have broken down because the next thing I knew, Ghoulia was patting me on the back and I was soaking her shoulder with tears. I couldn't stop for a while, and when I did, Ghoulia just looked at me in the eye and said in zombie, "Your secret is safe with me." I guess now I understand. Satanism accusations. Because of the goth and spooky nature of Monster High, many parents accuse Monster High of promoting Satanism due to the monsters and demons. Spectra's history. This possibly has to do with how Spectra probably died in Monster High. However, we were never given an exact reason as to how she died, so all we're left with is fan theories. One particular fan theory is that Spectra was the daughter of an early female journalist. Men who disagreed with her writing burnt down her office, and Spectra tragically died of smoke inhalation in the fire. Because of this, Spectra wished to carry on her mother's legacy, but on a digital scale. Freaky Fusion 50s Kids. According to the Monster High Wiki, before the story of Freaky Fusion reached its final form, there was a script in which the protagonist would travel through time to the 1950s. At least 10 students from the 1950s were considered to meet the protagonist, 5 of which monotypes, the other 5 hybrids. Count Fabulous is a vampire. According to the Monster High Wiki, Count Fabulous is Draculaura's pet bat. He is a sophisticated individual who takes the obligation of decorum bestowed upon him by his heritage rather seriously. So it causes him a tiny amount of frustration that his owner does not share this conviction. Nonetheless, he appreciates her and her care for him. Count Fabulous is 1,006 years old. However, regular bats in the wild live less than 20 years. So that can add on to the theory of Count Fabulous being a vampire, as well as the design also, because as you can look at Count Fabulous's teeth, most likely, the teeth are present there, which are vampires' teeth also. So who knows, this may be true, but like I said, it's just a theory at the moment. Lives before undead. Most likely, this is referring to the characters' lives before they died, such as Cleo's backstory, Draculaura's backstory, etc. So I don't think I have to touch on this, especially because I've already covered some of the characters' lives already before they died. So yeah, I believe this is what it's referring to. Nephra is Cleo's stepmom. Now, before I get into this theory, I do want to stress this is a content warning for this theory, as it's going to be talking about the topic of incest. So if you're uncomfortable with it, please skip to the next layer, as this is the last part of this layer. So anyways, continuing with this theory. It honestly does seem weird when you look at it on the iceberg, but when you actually do some digging, it makes sense because of how societal norms were back in Egypt. So most Monster High fans know that Cleo's name derived from Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt, back in ancient Egypt. And most people do know that Cleopatra married her brothers. And another figure, King Tut, was also born of incestuous marriage. So as you can see, back then it was normal. And usually this was done to keep the royalty in the family, weirdly enough. This applies to Cleo and Nephra because of Cleo's backstory. As we talked about, their palace and everything was attacked by Cleo's uncle. This caused Cleo, Nephra, and Ramses to go into hiding. As we all know, Cleo's mother didn't make it. So, because of Egyptian societal norms, a king could marry his sister and his daughter because he is a god. And in order to keep the royalty in the family, this most likely could have happened. Trademarked unused names. According to the Monster High Wiki, over the years, not every idea brought up to expand Monster High made it into a product. There's about 1 to 2 years between concept and execution, and much can happen in between. Monster High itself, for instance, came close to being scrapped in 2009. An incident of significance that ties into the cancellation of approximately half the items on this page is the reboot in 2016, a result of the decreasing sales since 2013. Cancelled content, much like preliminary names, comes to light through trademarks, toy listings, fiction, preparational content, and sometimes by creators talking about it. Characters such as Yuna and Jean Claw were characters that were supposed to make debuts but were cancelled. However, their names are still trademarked. Giant Girl. While on the topic of trademarked unused names, Giant Girl was one of them. According to the Monster High Wiki, the October 4th, 2015 entry of Brian LeBeau's Tumblr account notes that a giant girl was an early possibility for the new characters to be introduced in Boo York, Boo York. She did not make the cut. Shadow High / Reboot Wave Theory. Shadow High was a crossover book between Monster High and Ever After High, which was titled Monster High / Ever After High, The Legend of Shadow High. According to the Monster High Wiki, the synopsis is, as the first cracks show, Frankie and Draculaura are accidentally transported to Ever After High, where they meet Raven Queen and Apple White. After the girls recover from the shock of learning that fairy tales and monsters are real, they discover that the evil queen has escaped from her mirror prison, searching for the ultimate power hidden in Shadow High. Frankie, Raven, Draculaura, Apple, and Brooke must stop the evil queen and save the world of stories from the evil lurking in Shadow High. The reboot wave theory probably has to do with the reboot of Monster High and the theory that Ever After High will also be rebooted. However, Ever After High was canceled due to a lawsuit with Disney. I will probably get into this one when I do my Ever After High Iceberg. But yeah, Descendants was made for a reason. We had to sacrifice Ever After High in order for Descendants to be made. Cannibal Laguna. This theory comes from the fact that Laguna eats sushi and it's also her favorite food. So, because Laguna is also part fish, it makes her a cannibal. Dolls that move on their own. Most likely, this is referring to the whole theory that many people have that the dolls move on their own. And this goes for like any toy line, so it wouldn't just be Monster High. But yeah, this is probably what it's referring to. Catacombs layout. According to the Monster High Wiki, the catacombs constitutes a large underground collection of buildings, chambers, and passageways. How far the catacombs stretch and how deep they go is unknown, but at least a portion of it is located in the USA, specifically under Monster High, under the nearby resident areas, which include the human town New Salem, and there's a tunnel that reaches the ocean. the catacombs are terrae nullius, as the only known creatures occupying it are not of the sapient kind. The two people who are most experienced with the catacombs are Operetta and Mr. Hackington, who spend large portions of their free time there. No one knows who built the catacombs, or when, or why so much knowledge of them has been lost. The catacombs are largely dangerous, but they are safe to enter as long as people stay within the known portions of the catacombs. The Monster High catacombs largely takes inspiration from the Paris catacombs, as you can easily get lost in there if you do not follow the correct trail. And it's most likely that this is referring to that we didn't get to see the entire layout of the catacombs or what secrets are in there, as Monster High ended and is now going through its second reboot. Cthulhu babies in the catacombs. To be honest with you all, I don't really know what this could be referring to unless it's touching upon what I talked about regarding the catacombs, that the catacombs are terrae nullius, as the only known creatures occupying it are not of the sapient kind. So that could be what it's referring to, that the creatures in the catacombs are Cthulhu and Cthulhu babies, I guess. But I'm not really sure, as I couldn't find much on it. So if any one of you guys knows a bit more about it, then put it down in the comments. Rebecca is the victim of femicide. Femicide, also known as the killing of women, this theory becomes factual when you look into Rebecca's backstory. Rebecca developed her career as a Skull-O-Mate roller maze athlete, being the first female to acquire this status in the history of SKRM, as well as one of the best. Unfortunately, during an event at a race, members of the opposing team cheated and dismantled her by consequence. Because Rebecca is a robot, dismantling her is the equivalent of killing her. After a century, Rebecca was built back again by Gulia Yelps and Frankie Steen. So my final thoughts on this video have to be, I was not expecting the Iceberg to take so long and be long, because usually Iceberg images that I have been doing have very little stuff in each layer. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I enjoyed this one. This was a really good, interesting Iceberg, and I hope to continue it, and I am gonna continue it, as I already talked about my lineup. So like I said at the beginning of this video, Tokyo Revengers is the next Iceberg on my list, as it was the second highest voted for on my community tab. And that one will be at the end of June, as I need to get everything ready and I have to actually make an Iceberg image, as there is currently no English one. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what else you guys want me to talk about on my channel. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye guys!